Okay, guys, let me just plug in my controller. Edit these. I just prefer to play with the controller. There you go. We're plugged in, partner. Alright, here we go, folks. Got my controller. I kind of want to play through Halo too. And I know I won't be able to do so here on the show, but yeah, we do have the Master Chief Collection, so it is totally an option. It might even still be downloaded on this machine. You check. How it is. Okay, guys, here we go. Today's going to be a trial, as I believe. Trial from day 2. Episode 2, I mean. Reunion and Turnabout, we're in part 2-1 trial. Yeah, there it is. June 21st, 9:48 a.m., District Court. Defendant Lobby number 3. What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean, yes, the same one from Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? Manfred Von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks. Also, he could win. Yeah, he was a little underhanded. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He never lost a case, I believe. Yeah, he had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. Now his successor, I wonder what kind of person they'll turn out to be. Hopefully not just as underhanded. Manfred. It's no good. Mystic Maya. Hurley. You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. I'm not good at little girl voices. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? I was watching over the trainees. You said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. And then, you came all by yourself? Yep, I snuck out of the manor and followed a map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I can't. Oh my. It takes 2 hours by train. Oh man. Hurley, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? Give up. It's time, isn't it? Really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? You're in a public courtroom. Don't worry, man. Nothing bad's gonna happen. At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me. Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who's that? I'm not good at speech patterns either. I'm not a speech teacher. He's Nick's rival. He's also a friend. Objection! Yeah, Edgeworth was also an amazing prosecutor. I still remember him as though I'd only seen him yesterday. Objection! Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. Yeah, the trials between Edgeworth and Phoenix were pretty remarkable, actually. Objection! It's always back and forth with them. When rivals for life. Actually, we came to Edgeworth's rescue in the previous game, too. That was also pretty amazing. Like, Edgeworth was actually accused and a defendant in the previous game. Actually got him off, so we should be a little bit more amiable towards one another, a little bit more friendly in this game, I would think, as a result of that trial. My, please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya, I forgot. You don't know. He's gone. Not coming back. Wait, did he die in this game? I don't think so. What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed in the courtroom. I believe we actually got him off. Like, we got him declared innocent in the last game, as I recall. I don't think he got jail time, and I don't think he died. Oh, wait, or did he die? I don't think he did, though. I don't think he did. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick. It's Phoenix Wright, Maya. Why does he not correct her? June 21st, 10 a.m., District Court, Court Number 2. Actually, it looks a lot like Von Karma already. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Maya Fey is on the defense stand now. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared? Oh wow, she looks like she's from the George Washington days too. What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct? Hold on, so she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma? I am Francisca Von Karma, the prodigy. Okay. Actually, she's got gray hair, so she doesn't seem that young. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country. Let me give her a German accent then. For one sole reason. The revenge. Revenge. Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma? Something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can. Oh! I'm talking. Are you even allowed to bring that into the courtroom? If you're interrupting again, my whip will do this speaking for you. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person, I beg of you. Yow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Prosecutor Von Karma, your opening statement, please. Once the Von Karma blood, I've only one fate. And that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from guilt on the watch. Very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor, does the defense wish to enter a plea not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running in front of the justified self-defense plea in no time. Sorry. That's right. I'll be running in front of the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense. Isn't that comparable, though, to innocence, though? Oh, wait. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that would be a bad thing for Maya. They usually reserve for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of himself. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but yeah, I don't think that would be the worst thing for Maya. The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. How foolish. That's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And I shall now call my first witness. It's just as scary as her father, like father like daughter, I suppose. Oh, take gumshoe? Witness, you have name and occupation. Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Ah! Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone will please look at this map. Hit him with a thunderbolt, right, you? The channeling chamber has no windows and the door is locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. No, it sounds far-fetched. Channeling a spirit? It's quite the look of disbelief there, though. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were to come from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. Myself being among them. That's when they found the victim was already dead, correct? Oh, that was the judge, sorry. That's when they found the dead victim. I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I've ever presided over. Yet technically Maya was the only person who could have killed him. Diagram of the channeling chamber. Floor plan. Crime scene. Floor plan added to the court record. How was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time. Cause of death. It's testimony. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used a pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. Dr. Gray's autopsy report: after being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead point blank. I think you mean point blank. You could say he was shot in the forehead point blank or at point blank range. Like, looks like they fell somewhere between the two, and that's not grammatically correct. Autopsy report added to the court record. Court accepts the evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Cause of death. Let me check your view too, just make sure I'm not blocking anything important. Yeah, it looks like I am blocking a lot of important stuff, so let me move myself up here. Yeah. Check, check, check. Test. Okay, that seems fine. Correct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. Shot was fired from point blank range. When the victim was shot, he was stabbed in the chest. It was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Nothing sounds out of place so far. I should try to learn more about the murder weapons for now. A knife and a gun. So both Maya had access to both of these. She would have had access to both a knife and a gun in the channeling chamber? That seems strange, just from the get-go. The murder weapon detective gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. He brought a gun into the channeling chamber? The victim? Now, why would he have... Objection! Now that she's actually spoken, I can try to match her voice. Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? I think I'm going to give her the German accent anyway. What that you're missing on whose fingerprints... Wait, the point that you're missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you stop. Fingerprints. There were fingerprints? Along with the victims. The defendant, Maya Faze, were also in the grip, sir. Maya, what are you doing, Maya? So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. Walked right into her hands there. Shot was fired from point blank range. Point blank, huh? So about how far away is that? Anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. I thought it was like within 12 inches. How do you know he was shot at point blank? Tisk, 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 Mr. Phoenix. I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn? When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot powder. There were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Oh, I never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. She definitely knows her stuff. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. With it? Stabbed. What was he stabbed with? Fruit knife. I see, and whose knife was it? Looks like it belongs to the face, sir. Was my face, fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? This does not look good. Maya, what are you doing, Maya? Ha ha ha. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It was very severe, not enough to cause instantaneous death. How severe was the wound? If it had been a half-inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. So why was it necessary then for her to shoot him? His testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with intent to kill. Her used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure could be. I'll look at the wounds and you come to the same conclusion too, pal. Fool is a fool who only listens to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. Pistol shot to the forehead point blank is certainly enough to kill this. Does it matter then which was first, the chicken or the egg? It does matter because we can establish whether or not Maya was in control of her own actions. If he was already dead and she was like having an episode or something, then it's possible that she stabbed him after shooting him. In like a fit of rage, for example. Because you're not always thinking clearly in those situations. Just like as if Maya was possessed, it's also possible she wasn't thinking clearly. Even though possession obviously is not. Take a little more before we open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Sure, what a pain. That's enough. We've clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Very well. The court accepts them in evidence. Pistol. Added to the court record. Murder weapon was Gray's. 2 shots fired. There's Maya's and Gray's fingerprints. 2 shots fired, though. Where did the other bullet go? Was it a miss or something? How is it possible that it missed if it was a point-blank range? Knife. The murder weapon. A small fruit knife. Belongs to the face. Bears Maya's fingerprints. Again, Maya, why are you touching everything? The date and time of death was June 19th. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this. 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? Very interesting. That's very, very interesting. This does seem like an open shot case. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. That the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gal in course. After all, there is no room left for doubt this day. That is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes? Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright, we change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now will be the time to do it. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through the way. I'm not sure what the difference is semantically in a courtroom. Like, I really don't know what the difference is between self-defense, justified, and not guilty. Because to say not guilty, you need to make the case that Maya did not do it whatsoever, but her fingerprints are all over the weapon. So again, we're going to have to make the case that she was actually possessed. Doggone it, Phoenix. We do not want to mess this up. Okay, we're part 2-1, right? Trial. Things are looking grim. Everything's implicating Maya. Exactly. I'm given a choice between the plea I made and justified. Choose to plead not guilty because I have the key. I chose justified self-defense. Don't worry. You'll realize your mistake. Automatically change your plea not guilty and earn the justified self-defense achievement in HD iOS version. Let me see if that's still the case. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it doesn't actually matter, actually, based on what I'm seeing. If Maya's convicted, then it's all over. Really should play it safe and try to soften the blow. Your Honor, defense would like to change its plea to justified self-defense. Ah. Understood. Let the record show that the defense is injured. There's nothing else I could do. Yeah. You already hold the key. You don't believe you cannot win. If he justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing the murder. But again, it doesn't have the same, like, term as a normal murder. Justified self-defense. I don't even think you have jail time for justified self-defense. In most jurisdictions, I'm pretty sure you don't get jail time for it. After the trial, Maya's life will be ruined, and she'll be labeled as a murderer. Again, that's a special case scenario, though. That's not an ordinary murder. Can I really let that happen? Your Honor. Yes. The defense retracts its previous statement, and instead will prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that the defendant is not guilty. Now, and how was she allowed to have that in there? You've sealed your fate, Mr. Detective. Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony. Final strike. Yes, sir. Why is he calling her sir? I see here, the proceedings are run by... Eek. Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. How? What? I think the court would like to hear the other piece of incriminating evidence. Okay, Von Karma, calm down. Sorry, pal, but there's even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. You can see it's covered in blood. Yeah, so really it didn't matter which option you chose there. I like to look at the guide because sometimes you will be actually penalized in the game for choosing the wrong action. Like, it will actually hurt your case if you choose the wrong action, so that's why I didn't want to get penalized for something we had no control over. The defendant attacked and killed the person who without a doubt was not. Now I'm using her voice for him. The defendant attacked and killed the person who without a doubt was not fighting back. Why would she do that, though? So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of the back spray of blood on this. This piece directly links Maya fate to the crime, sir. Maya, what did you do? Or accepts the evidence. Maya's costume, the clothes Maya was wearing at the time of the murder, there are blood splatters on it. The costume added to the record. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints on both weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could the situation get any worse? I guess if Maya was the only other person there at the time, that also could be bad. It's confirmed it wasn't a suicide, that also seems kind of bad. What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. This is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. What, the whip? Please took off with their tail between their legs. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Better than Nick. Nick isn't even your actual name. Incriminating evidence. Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? Kind of scary today, you know, pal. Come now, Mr. Wright. There's no need for that kind of attitude. Why did he withhold it from his original testimony? Seems like that's kind of suspicious. Why are you withholding evidence? Attitude had nothing to do with it. You must have ulterior motives. Alright, just please stop blurring. It's the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. Hold it. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? As you can see, it's covered in blood. Are you sure that's not grape juice? Blood on the costume. That result showed that it was the victim's blood. So is the blood from the victim... So there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well... Objection! You must change the topic. And the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on. Ah yes, Mrs. Von Karma is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. If I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Keep pushing. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume! And like, again, I'm not like a lawyer or anything, so I don't really understand how the procedural elements of courtrooms go. Would it really be necessary for him to testify again if it's his current line of testimony? Like, why would that be even necessary? I actually don't know. You just have to look harder. Mr. Wright. Sure, Mr. Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to pull the bullet. Looks like my time is up, so about the costume. There is one little thing, girl. Your Honor. Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem, Groot? Come this far, there's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. The bullet. It's gotta be the bullet, right? Because that seems to suggest that the person firing the firearm was not Maya. How do I do it, though? Right trigger? Or is it X? X. I think it's Y. Sorry. That's the bullet hole. Like, how's it possible if Maya was shooting the gun? Also, the gun was shot twice, so both of those shots need to be accounted for. Ask the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. Sleeve? There's a tiny hole there. A hole? That wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. And you're the detective. It seems kind of embarrassing. Hole that smells of gunpowder. Looks like I found the hole I was looking for. The literal hole. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion that you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Order! 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 This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. Maya's costume updated in the court record. Clothes Maya was wearing at the time of the murder. Pressed the check button for details. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Yeah, you did mess up. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. The tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with their testimony. This now was a fluke. Nothing more. Objection! How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. Well, I agree, it is a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then no way. Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. Why is Gumshoe having that expression of like a beat down dog throughout this entire testimony? Like, are you hiding something too, Gumshoe? Like, the defendant attacked and killed the person who without a doubt was not fighting back. Hold it, and I'm gonna object here again. He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't? Find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around the murder changed drastically. We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. That Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. Don't worry, Phoenix, you already found it. Gotta go to the last statement and object with the bullet hole. Because that heavily, directly implies that he did fight back, actually. He may have attacked Maya first, actually. Yes. He might be able to use the pistol because it says that 2 shots were fired as well. And with the garment, we know that the first shot went into Maya's costume. Or perhaps... I mean, it's basically impossible that that was the second shot, right? Because at least one of those shots was a point-blank shot to the head. In this circumstance, it seems like the first shot would have been the shot that was through her garment, and then maybe she wrestled the gun away and then shot him in the head. We're going to present this. Yeah, we're going to present that. Objection! Detective Dick Dumbshit. Yes? Having you call me by my full name, it's got a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is this bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? You're right. Seems you're correct. And again, it does seem like it's justified self-defense in that case. Because if he attacks and she defends herself, that's self-defense. I still don't see how that's not guilty. I mean, the two could kind of be seen as interchangeable again, because I don't think self-defense has actual jail time. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. Ha! What is with that? Are you finished yet, laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Miss Juan Carmel? It seems what Miss Maya Fey was shot at, that Miss Maya was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support the justified self-defense plea. Hopefully I have the German accent and not the Russian accent too. The extra boy jeans. That is correct. I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Exactly. Heck. How do you... That's right. Even though I tried to say self-defense. It means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No. Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate justified self-defense. How so? Stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired. The information we acquired, I didn't, of course. You mean by myself? I put together the scenario all by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. How was she allowed to do that? What transpired? During the channeling, the defendant saw a chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim was used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot. Because they were too close and missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and then ended it. And with a lightning bolt. And with a thunderbolt, right, you? Scenario does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Miss Wright. On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. What transpired? Cross-examination. During channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim. There is quite a difference in height between Dr. Green and the defendant. Height and body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. Objection! You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? I mean, yeah, it makes it seem even more unlikely that she could have stabbed him. When channeling with the crane channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. What do you mean, nurse? Again, I think this is a mistranslation. I can't believe it, she even studied up on the crane channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect. about what you were talking about. I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue testing. Yeah, exactly. Like, if she's in the middle of channeling, doesn't that mean she can't do anything else? Like, wouldn't that further support Phoenix's argument? Like, that wasn't an objection at all. She's actually in agreement with Phoenix. Well, the victim used the lack of strength to fight back, sir. Used the less of his strength to fight back, sir. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. If you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to get blood the other day. Afterward, I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. Not even remotely close. Guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the distance. Sorry. I'll do it fine. The victim took out his gun. And why would he have done that? Where in the world did that pistol come from? Yeah, how do you even get a pistol in there to begin with? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? And why would he take out the gun in the first place? And why would he bring in the gun, and why would he take out the gun in the first place? Unless he had a reason to shoot her. Victor took the shot, but because they were too close, he missed. So you're saying that the bullet hole in his costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. Two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired. I am really glad you weren't hurt. And then picked on the opening. Took the victim's gun then. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. Victim already taken off the safety. Safety off, even an amateur like you could fire it just by pulling the trigger. Even me, I wonder. Now, do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes this look very bad. There's got to be a contradiction in there somewhere. Covering it is going to uncover the truth. I could feel it. I did not mean to do that. Sorry, I meant to look at the evidence. Objection! I am not good at making my voice at all. I sometimes wish they actually said it on lines. I was actually trying to look at the evidence. Yeah, this is what I was trying to do. Pistol, murder weapon was Grace. 2 shots fired, bear Maya and Grace fingerprints. Stabbed in the chest and shot point blank. Gunpowder residue around the bullet hole. So she stabbed him and then he shot her. And then she shot him back. So even this autopsy report isn't accurate anymore. Must have gone through the bullet hole. You mean Miney, deceased, died in a car accident 1 year ago, Sydney's older sister. Nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. So is that the nurse she was talking about? So it was like a possession or something. Like, I don't know how it works at all. Francesca von Karma became a prosecutor in Germany at age 13. Prodigy who's never known defeat. Dr. Gray. This is all so weird. Minus costume, minus force steam. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get that does seem strange, right? Like a strange line of reasoning. Like, isn't it harder to miss the closer someone is when you're firing a weapon? Okay. Objection! Missing the tiny hole in this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh. So we know that the bullet that went... Yeah. We know that that shot was not made at point range. There's not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. And... Again, how would you know that as someone who's playing this game? Like, do you know what gunpowder burn looks like? I don't. It's a very good point. What exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. Objection! Disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I think we can punch a hole in my logic with that. With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. And I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. It was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? So she takes out the knife, stabs him, he pushes her away, and then fires. So we're gonna update the core record then. I guess. Objection! As if that was even possible. Again, like, it's hard to say like how much the stabbing actually affected him. They would have had to have been close to begin with for her to stab him. They would have had to have been close. So, yeah. As if that was even possible. According to testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well then, that's right, the defendant must have pushed the victim away. But she just stabbed him, why would she do that? Like, why would she push him? Unless he was already attacking her, again, like, it does seem strange to begin with. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. Then she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Just be careful, I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. She stabbed him, why would she push him away? There's a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal? Flaw? No! Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the blow. When she was about to strike, the doctor took the shot. So, like, let's think through this. She stabs him, she pushes him away, he takes out his gun, shoots her, or shoots at her, rather, and then she somehow gets the gun from him, and then shoots him in the head. Like, that doesn't seem likely at all. Like, even after being stabbed, I think you'd still have enough strength to shoot your attacker. Must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. I want to say it's the autopsy report. Because the autopsy report doesn't reveal that. It says he was stabbed in the chest and then shot at point blank range. It doesn't say he was stabbed, took a shot. Let me just confirm that it's the autopsy report though. Oh, it's the folding screen. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that, a folding screen? I'd like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Ah. So they were nowhere near, like... So my understanding is she stabs him, pushes him away, he shoots at her, it goes through her kimono or whatever the thing's called, and goes into that screen. But again, I don't see how that contradicts anything I've said so far. I don't see how it contradicts anything I've said. Looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Wait, what? That's right, your explanation, please. These two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. Yes, I think that's obvious. Passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means... when the shot was fired, Maya, I mean the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. And where is Maya's testimony? What the heck? I don't know. I still don't know how she would have gotten the gun away from him in the first place. Like, how would she have gotten that gun away from him? Especially like what Phoenix just said. Like, she's squatting on the ground. How did she get the gun away from him? Order, order. This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the first shot. The bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Would have been like right around here. Somewhere around here. His face scrunched like he just smelled some serious bad breath. That is, I mean, wait, I just realized I forgot to brush this morning. Excuse me while I freshen up. Sure, in the meantime, I want you to think things through again, Mr. Wright. Are you freaking kidding me? Is it in front of the screen? What's done is done. For now, I should focus on where Maya was at the time of the crime. Such freaking baloney. To the left of the hole, right? Near the folding screen. Wait a second. You know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? I don't always follow this game's reasoning too. So let's make it a song. I'm just completely oblivious as to how Maya was able to get the gun from him. So she's squatting, she stabs him. Even that is called the question. Like, presumably they're sitting close together. She stabs him. Does she push him away? Does she try running away? We don't exactly know. But she's squatting down in front of that folding screen when Ray shoots the shot. The shot passes through. So how is she able to close that distance and simultaneously get the gun away from him and shoot him in the head? Like, there must have been a distance there of at least 8 or 9 feet. How is that even possible? And it's not like one of these like rooms where you could like hide behind some furniture or something as you're trying to get over there and get the gun. Like, no, this is an open space, like completely open space. Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. Why? You of all people should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there'd be gunpowder burns present. Not only that, but it would dramatically change the trajectory of the bullet. The bullet would be closer to the middle of that screen. However, there's nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Yes, there's no bullet hole, so we know he was further away. We know she was further away too, so again, how did she get the gun? No. Curse you, Mr. Wright. I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing away from the victim shot at. I think that this has changed the defendant's situation. It's everything. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution is claiming that the defendant was killed by stabbing. This changes everything. Breaks like a wave. Perfume Genius song. The prosecution's claim that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at that time? At the time. Yeah, it seems like she was trying to get away. Like, she stabbed him and then she tried to get away, but how did she get the gun? I don't really know. Squatting all the way by the folding screen. Exactly. Maya Fey was the real murderer. She had been closer to the victim. Why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? On further consideration, it does make very little sense. I mean, did he shoot himself in the head? We don't really know. Or there'd be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Alright, but this, the rest of the trial should be blast radius of disaster. Such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. All the things doing here, why did it have to be this smarmy smile? How did she get this whip into the courtroom? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? How's it my fault? Start repairing the damage first by standing in that third freestand goatee. Just sure your punishment. Well, Your Honor, I think I've had all that I can take of that detective's face. It's time to call him the next witness. Next witness, that's gotta be Lotta. Very well. Court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. Oof, to be continued, guys. We made it to the end. I'll try to get through as much as I can of these episodes without referring to any guides or walkthroughs, but sometimes I just do not get it at all. Okay, part 2-2 trial. Maya, for some reason, not testifying in her own trial. That's just something I do not get about this game at all. It's like, you're the defendant. Why are you not testifying? You know, like, if anyone can prove her innocence, it's her. She could say, like, he attacked. I tried to stab him for whatever. She could kind of explain what the circumstances were as to why that's the case. Instead of us, like, trying to speculate and come up with explanations about what happened, she could say, like, oh, I was there, this happened, then this happened, this is why I did that, this is how it happened. Like, she could fill in a lot of these gaps just by providing her testimony. I don't know why the game doesn't allow you to do that. But folks, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's about 5 o'clock, so I'll see if I can squeeze in a Spirit Fair episode before eating, and then I might have a Wrath of the Lich King episode tomorrow, and then the back-to-back World of Warcraft leveling series tomorrow.